What if adversity wasn't a problem to you? What if it wasn't a problem? What if it was a privilege? If you think back to your life, again, your biggest growth moments came from your biggest pain moments. If you look back on your life, you realize, man, I had a privilege to go through that. That adversity built your purpose, makes you understand your purpose more. So I want to shift your perspective right now. I want you to start looking at adversity as a privilege. Do you know how many people would love to have the adversity that you got? Let's shift our perspective here. Even if it's the adversity of finances. You know how many people would want to be in a position to even have that adversity? Some people have the privilege to even have it. Or building a business and dealing with the ups and downs. Some people are having the opportunity to even build a business. So that diversity is a privilege. And I know this is true because I've seen people that would pray to be in the shoes that I was complaining about. I want you to think for just a brief second and say, how can I start looking at this as a privilege? By asking yourself a few questions. What is this trying to teach me? What is this actually building inside of me? Why am I going to be grateful that I went through this? And maybe you don't have the exact answer. But guess what? As human beings, we can create whatever meaning we want to create that's going to serve our soul. So I want you to shift that perspective towards adversity and realize that adversity can actually be one of the greatest tools to build that greatness inside of you. So I'm looking at this opportunity now. How can this grow me? How can this teach me? How can it shape me? How can this educate me? You're going to go through adversity. You're going to go through moments when you're losing. You're going to go through games where you're losing. You're going to go through weeks where you might lose. You might go through a losing streak. And if you're not clear on how you're going to respond before that even happens, you allow that to define your life instead of refine your life. And see, what I want for you right now, I don't want that adversity to define you. I want it to refine your life. And what that means is that I want that to shape something that was meant to work against you. I want it to work for you. I want it to reshape your confidence, reshape your endurance, reshape your perseverance, reshape your faith because of that adversity. Because of the adversity, I have stronger faith. My hardest times built my strongest faith. If it wasn't where my hardest times, my faith wouldn't be this strong. If faith is not tested, then there's no faith at all. I'm trying to grow my life. I'm trying to level up. I'm trying to grow this mindset. And I can't grow this mindset without going through pain, without going through growing pains. It's a part of it. A lot of us wish that the journey was just smooth, sailing easy waters. But you don't see what your vote is made of until you get into troubled waters. You don't see what you're made of until those storms hit your life. You don't see how strong the foundation is until that tornado comes through and either exposes the foundation or let you know my foundation is unshakable. So again, some things aren't coming to your life to destroy you, but to expose what's really inside of you. Because I'm not gonna fold in the midst of adversity. I'm gonna stand taller. Adversity, I'm gonna use it. I'm not gonna allow it to use me. Make up in your mind right now how you're gonna respond. When challenges come up, I'm gonna respond like this. When adversity comes up, I'm not gonna look away. I'm not gonna look at adversity as a problem. I'm gonna look at it as a privilege. I'm gonna think about, what is this trying to teach me? That's how I'm gonna respond. When things are going wrong in my life, I'm gonna still respond with greatness. I'm gonna stay loyal to my standards. I'm gonna stay loyal to my principles. I'm gonna stay loyal to my rituals. I'm not gonna allow outside circumstances to dictate how I show up every single day. I'm not gonna allow outside circumstances to dictate how I show up every single day. How I show up every single day is non-negotiable. Of course, you're a human being. You have your days, I do too. But I'm not gonna allow any adversity, any challenge to dictate my actions. I'm showing up regardless. And even if showing up means barely making it, even showing up means tears in my eyes, still going, I'm showing up. Because I refuse to become my adversity. I refuse to become my setback. I refuse to become my obstacle. I refuse to become my challenge. I refuse these things that come against me. I'm gonna rise above it. And that's the mindset that you're gonna have. So get very clear on how you're going to respond to these things. Anything that's going to be built that's great will go through great suffering. You will go through great suffering. We hear that word suffering, but we think suffering is such a bad thing. Suffering is beautiful. It's beautiful when it's positive suffering.